day 10 on the trail. Slept pretty good last night. For the most part, it was warm down here, so I didn't have to bundle up, which was nice. I did wake up early. I probably woke up a little after 4 with the thought of this is my kind of big day that I've been anticipating on my mind. And then get moving till 5:15 or so, and it's now 6:02. I would have made it out by 6, but I had to adjust my shoe. So I am on schedule for my plan today. This is a day I've kind of been, I don't want to say dreading, fearing, worried about since started the trail, just because it's got a lot of elevation. This is my 4,000 foot day. I have one tomorrow too, I think. But as I looked at it, it's a little bit unsought because it's like a 2,300 climb in the next 3.5 miles, which is still steep, but it's better than a 4,000 foot straight climb. And then once I get to Mowich, I get on the the other trail. I can't remember, Spar Park, something like that. And I don't have the gut hooks elevation profile for that, so it looks like it does climb a little bit and then drop. But I have about 10.1 miles in total today, so one of my longer days. But I'm looking forward to it. My body's feeling good. My food bag actually felt light when I took it off the bear pole this morning, which is shit. I only have 2 more dinners in there and some snacks, so should be doing good. But let's keep our fingers crossed and hope this goes well today. I'm gonna take a guess and say this is what I'm working my way up this morning. I gotta cross the river here. I'm not filming this one because that bridge is looking a little wonky there, so I want to pay attention. All right, from straight on at least, the footbed looks pretty good and straightforward. Still not gonna film it, but here goes. All right, that was probably my sketchiest bridge so far. There was at one point where the handrail went out a little bit and I couldn't touch it, so I used my poles ahead of me. Not that I was relying on the handrail, but it gave me a little sense of balance in there. All right, hopefully no more sketchy ones like that. I think I still have at least 1, maybe 2 suspension bridges. Not as long as the last one, I don't think, but whew, I'm back in the forest of rodents of unusually large size again. Hopefully they don't come out and attack me. And so the climb begins. I've been doing a lot of clearing the trail spider webs for all those behind me today. Whew. It's like having a web all over your face and having to wipe it off when you're sweaty. There's been 2 or 3 places this morning to get water. This is probably the best one so far. Nice flow here. The forest is starting to open up a little bit more up here. I don't want to jinx myself, but it feels like we're getting somewhat close to the top. Probably not. I've been going about an hour and 40 minutes so I figured it's time to get some food in me. I don't want to get too low in my calorie deficit and end up bonking. So we'll take a little 10 minutes, maybe 15-minute break here. Put 300-400 calories into me and then get going. All right, back on the trail. I had to get moving there. It was a little chilly. It's been a really humid morning. And hoodie is all wet and sweaty. And as I sat there, I was getting cool. So I think I got a mile to Mowich, something about that. So pretty cool. It's been a little more pleasant hiking since I passed my first group of hikers going the opposite direction. They took all the spider webs out for me, so it's been a little better. Really good water source at 3.6 miles from camp. Just made it to the turnoff to Spray Park. I was calling it Spark this morning. That's what I get for trying to talk before my mind's awake. So right there is to Spray Park. I am going to go this way. It's only 0.2 miles to the campground, so I guess I'll go check that out. I'm gonna be able to drop some trash, maybe sit at a picnic bench and rest a little bit. Then we'll go from there. Just checked my watch. It took me about 2 hours and 20 minutes, 25 minutes to make that 4 miles from camp and about 2,200 feet elevation gain. And I had a 10-minute break in there, so I'm real happy with that. Hopefully after this little break here, I can keep moving pretty well today. And I made it. It was uphill. Bummer. But hey, there's that picnic table I was hoping for. There's the bathroom. Maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be trash. So they do have bathrooms here. I haven't checked them out to see if they're pit toilets or what, but oh, look at this. How exciting. We got some trash receptacles. I'm gonna take advantage of these in just a little bit. I figured that since I walked all the way up here, I should probably stop and go see the lake. Actually, I almost forgot there was a lake here. It was just a name until I was looking at the Far Out app and saw it. I'm like, oops, go take a look at it. Don't see a lot of vegetation in the lake, so this may not be a very productive lake. I don't even see any fish or even tadpoles. The temperature is not too bad and the bottom's not squishy. So if I would have come up here yesterday or here on a hot day, I'd consider jumping in this. Just not today. That was a nice little stopover up there at Mowich. Now I am back to the turnoff to Spray Park Trail, which I will take. I got 6 miles to camp. I'm carrying 1 liter. It says Eagles Roost Camp is 1.7. There's a bridge there, so it's a good flow. So I'll stop there and get at least a liter, maybe camel up a liter with some electrolytes, and then have 4 miles from there, a little over 4 miles from there to camp. I'm really not sure what the terrain is going to be like in Spray Park. Far Out shows the route, but I could not figure out how to look at the elevation there. So maybe later when I get in here a little bit more, it'll kick over to an elevation profile here. But I'm feeling like I still have about 1,800 feet of gain to do overall today. We'll see. The Spray Park alternate route that I'm doing is technically not on the Wonderland Trail. The Wonderland Trail goes, I guess, east of this, but from what I've read and what people talk about, Spray Park is supposed to be magnificent. It might as well be on the Wonderland Trail because it's supposed to be a little better, a little more scenic than the actual Wonderland Trail. So that's why I'm taking it. I think it's the total is like 16 miles. I'll do 6 of them today, 9 tomorrow, and then just a little bit past that, or maybe not even 9 tomorrow. We'll see. Just came up a pretty steep section. It was started out nicely, and they weren't too high of steps between them, but the steepest section I think I've done today. First section that really needed to be kind of stair-stepped out. Most of this trail so far has been pretty smooth and down. I'm hoping I'm near the top of this climb. I don't see any stair-steppy in front of me, though I do see it going up some. I almost walked right past this view. Look at that. Who's sneaking out today? As we're walking around along and just look down, I'll get a little sneaky here. See if I can get around him without bothering him too much. I imagine a lot of this video footage of me hiking along the trail through the forest probably looks the same. You're thinking, well, that's kind of boring, but it is not here. These forests are so magical in the way the light plays through them. It is definitely not boring. I love it here. Just came up to the junction for Eagle Roost. It says water this way. I'm gonna hope the trail goes that way as well, because that's how I'm going. The trail looks really good down there. Maybe I should check far out. But, here we are. And here is my next rest stop. Nice little bridge, good water there. I'll go to the other side, drop my pack. Gonna eat some food, drink some electrolytes. I'm gonna pop some vitamin I. My back's hurting, my shoulder and my knees are a little sore, so we'll give that a shot. Rest for a little bit. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. Unreal. Well, that was a nice break there. Had lunch. Got to take my shoes off, socks off. Got some water. I just left probably 4 minutes too early. The whole time I was sitting there on that bridge, I had Monty Python and the Holy Grail going through my head about the scene where the unladen, or the coconut laden swallow. I was gonna ask, and then as soon as I started up, not 100 yards up the trail, there was somebody coming down who looked old enough to get the joke. But I have 0.8 miles, it says, to Spray Park, and it looks like I have a climb, a pretty steep one through this section, so we'll try to get through that and get up to Spray Park. That was a wee bit of a climb coming up there, pretty steep, and a lot of big steps compared to what we've been doing. Wasn't laid out as well, a little rockier, but I made it up, or I think I made it up. It looks like I'm almost at the high point here, so wasn't expecting that. Should have been. And look at the view that I have here. Pretty sure this is kind of the north side of it. This is the first time that I've actually been out of the forest and exposed to the sun in a few days. It's really hot out here. I feel it beating down on me right now. Okay, I can feel another Sound of Music moment coming on here. I won't sing, but gosh, this is beautiful. The Indian paintbrush is magnificent. I love that color. I've heard a few people mention that there's a bear that's supposed to hang out somewhere in Spray Park. Pretty smart bear. There's the first little patch of snow I've seen. I think that's probably about it for Spray Park. All right, I spoke too soon. There's another bit of snow. We got to work our way up and over that ridge there. This uphill keeps going. I think mentally for me it's harder when I can see where I have to get to versus in the trees where I just know I gotta go up. Looking back where we came up below that peak there. And still more up. All right, we got a little snow crossing here. Probably soft. And get down here. It's a nice path. There we go. I could probably avoid it walking to the left there, but what fun would that be? It'd probably be more fun without the camera hand, so I can use both poles, but we'll make it through. There you go. This section's been pretty fun. It's been different out of the forest, even though I hate these little rocks and dirt that make your feet want to skitter out when you put them down. It is fun, something nice for a change. I got another snowfield I got across here, and then I'm heading down, it looks like. So cross this snowfield, and then I have to head. The quick trail goes down that way. This hasn't been too bad. I've been kicking my heels in to keep me from sliding. I almost ended up glissading at one point in time, which would have been fine, except for that run out there in the rocks, which I think would have ended badly. So taking my time. All right, it's time for another little break. Once I got into Spray Park, all my overall tiredness kind of disappeared. Yeah, going up those hills were tough. But it definitely livened my spirit there. I am getting tired here. I don't think I'm that far from camp, probably within a mile, I hope. But I'm going to take a break here. Got some storms, clouds, or dark clouds getting over rain here right now. I don't think it's going to cause anything. I still think it's just its daily weather, but let's take a look. Well, so much for the almost there thought. I just checked the map and I'm 2 miles away. I probably won't stay here too much longer because I'm being dive-bombed by mosquitoes, but I'm going to let my feet rest just a little bit more and then we'll take off. So probably at least an hour to get there. All right, I'm back on the trail. That break was a little shorter than I wanted just because those clouds that were over Rainier are now moving this way. And if they decide to drop some rain, I'd rather be closer to camp. And like I said, I got 2 miles to camp. I only thought I had like a mile. So we're going to see if I can't keep up a good pace. Maybe try to pick my pace up just a little bit. Mainly because these clouds, I don't want to get wet. I might melt up because I'm so sweet. You'd think by now I'd learned my lesson about speaking too quickly, but I think I'm off those rocky sides. That's coming down, they'll slow me down a lot. Back on a pretty good trail. The clouds are still overhead, grayish, but they don't look dark and scary gray, so I don't think we're gonna get any rain. Once again, I spoke too soon, not about the rocks, but the rain. It is starting to sprinkle. I should probably stop here if it gets any harder and put my jacket on. I don't like risking getting hypothermic. That's no fun for me. All right, so it did increase the sprinkle for a little bit, so I stopped, put my jacket on, walked for like 5 minutes, and it stopped. Took it off because I'm hot. Go figure, better safe than sorry. This might be the first stream I have to cross without using a rock. But I think if I come up here, I can work my way up and around. Not the first person to do this. Ooh. Just trying to keep the feet dry. Go over that. There we go. That greenish looks really sloppy there. One, two, three. And cross. And feet are dry. The beauty of this area truly is unmatched. All right, I made it to the turnoff. I actually came from up there and there was no sign, but I saw this. So I'm gonna head this way, made it to camp. Woo! All right, I'm gonna stick with my tried and true too here, and I'll take over this campsite. Looks pretty good. It's fairly close to the entrance, probably far from the bathroom, but hey, we can make it work. Quick look at camp. I got a little drying session going on there. Trying to get that rain jacket dried out from today and my shirt and just rinsed off a little bit. So got dinner going here. Ended up making a little ramen broth because I was cold and I thought that would warm me up nice. And then tonight for dinner is chicken and dumplings. And I found out I got a Snickers bar in there too. How exciting. I am hungry tonight, so worked up a bunch of calories today, so we'll enjoy this, go hang my food bag, and then settle in for movie night. The food is all hung for the evening. That bear pole, actually the pole part or the hook needs a little love, and there's nothing on the end like all the other ones to kind of trap your bag between. So I had to use a little eye hook, and that didn't work as well. So I could use a little love. Dinner was great. Chicken and dumplings are really good. I'm glad I made that broth. That kind of warmed me up really good. I think I can get in my sleeping bag now. I actually got to pump a liter of water, then I'm going to get in a sleeping bag, start some movies maybe. If nothing else happens, we will talk to you all in the morning. In case anybody's curious, that is a Six Moons Design lunar solo tent. It's the second one I've owned. I still have the first one. I just wanted to try a brand new one because the first one I bought used. It is a great 1.5 person tent. Plenty of room.